Hello Taurus, welcome to my channel, 12 Seasons of Astrology. The main focus for November for your sign is in your 7th house, the 8th house, and the 9th house. I'll go ahead and pull a card at the beginning of the reading, and then I'll pull another card at the end of the reading. I just also wanted to mention that their Thanksgiving is in the month of November on the 28th for those who celebrate it. And Daylight Savings Time is on November 3rd. And also, for those of you who work with an employer that has 26 pay periods and you get paid on a Friday, you'll receive an extra check. In November, there are 3 Fridays in November, so you'll receive extra money during this month. And the first card, wife. So those of you who may become a wife, you may get married this month, or those who are, if you're already a wife, then perhaps you will spend more quality time with your spouse. And that's for the first part. Starting on November 3rd, the Sun in Scorpio, your 7th house, will trine the North Node in Cancer, the 3rd house. You may receive news or information regarding your neighbors or your neighborhood, your vehicle, electronic device, your siblings, cousins, involving a romantic partner or business partner. On November 3rd, Venus in Sagittarius, your 8th house, will trine Chiron in Aries, your 12th house. And also on November 23rd, the Sun in Sagittarius, the 8th house, will trine Chiron in Aries, the 12th house. There could be a pleasant development regarding a recovery, healing, and also receiving a monetary compensation. On November 5th, Mars in Libra, your 6th house, will square Pluto in Capricorn, the 9th house. You may have a confrontation or a conflict, discord at the workplace regarding like a pending legal matter that could have anything to do with religious, spiritual, publishing, broadcasting, or educational or on-the-job training. It could also involve political involvement or your political belief that could possibly trigger a health condition. Perhaps maybe you requested time off and it was denied and you're pretty upset about it. On November 8th, the Sun in Scorpio, your 7th house, will sextile Saturn, the 9th house. November 13th, Mercury in Scorpio, your 7th house, will sextile Saturn, the 9th house. And also on November 29th, Mercury in Scorpio, once it's direct, Mercury going direct, your 7th house will sextile Saturn and Capricorn, the 9th house. You might receive information or decide to go on a distant trip with your romantic or business partner. On November 8th, the Sun in Scorpio, the 7th, will trine Neptune in Pisces, the 8th. Neptune in Pisces, the 11th house. On November 3rd, Mercury in Scorpio, the 7th house, will trine Neptune in Pisces, the 11th house. And on November 28th, Mercury in Scorpio, the 7th house, will trine Neptune in Pisces, the 11th house. It's possible to meet your future romantic partner, your committed partner, on these dates. You could meet someone special on social media or form a new friendship with someone on social media or a social group in your local area. On November 9th, Saturn in Capricorn, the 9th house, will sextile Neptune in Pisces, the 11th house. Looks like there's a wish fulfillment with a distant trip. You could get something published or broadcasted. There could be favorable news about a legal matter or judgment or a court ruling, or anything to do with a wish fulfillment having to do with spiritual, religious, educational, or study class. On November 11th, the Sun in Scorpio, the 7th house, will conjunct Mercury in Scorpio, the 7th house. Looks like there's increased or mounting activities involving your romantic committed partnership or your spouse or a business partner. On November 12th, there's a full moon in Taurus, your 1st house, that will trine Pluto in Capricorn, the 9th house. The Sun is in your 7th house. There's a culmination, a climax, a completion, a pinnacle, a peak it looks like it's the ending of a distant journey, the ending of education, a religious or spiritual retreat or journey, the ending of a publishing or broadcasting. Looks like the ending of a legal matter that's been ongoing, and also it could be the end of your current appearance, or you may decide to alter your appearance. On November 12th, Mars in Libra, the 6th house, will sextile Jupiter and Sagittarius, the 8th house. You could receive money that's owed to you, any type of loan that you may have applied for, you'll get approved for it. You could receive workers' compensation, Social Security, a pension, a severance pay, and your health could also improve on this date as well. On November 13th, the Sun in Scorpio, the 7th house, will sextile Pluto and Capricorn, the 9th house. November 19th, Mercury in Scorpio, the 7th house, will sextile Pluto and Capricorn, the 9th house. You could go on a distant trip with a romantic partner or business partner, receive promising news regarding a religious or spiritual, legal matter, educational. On November 14th, Venus in Sagittarius, the 8th house, will square Neptune in Pisces, the 11th house. You may have a dispute with a friend about a loan that's owed to you. On November 24th, Mars in Scorpio, the 7th house, will oppose Uranus in Taurus, the 1st house, and also the Sun in Sagittarius is in the 8th house. You might receive surprising, unexpected, there could be uprising or development involving an inheritance out of the blue, alimony, child support, a monetary compensation from a committed relationship or business partnership. On November 24th, Venus in Sagittarius, the 8th house, will conjunct Jupiter in Sagittarius, the 8th house. You could experience increased activity regarding loans, monetary compensation, alimony, child support, inheritance, a pension, Social Security, or perhaps getting more involved in the occult. On November 26th, there's a new moon in Sagittarius, the 8th house, that will quincunx Uranus in Taurus, the 1st house. This is a fresh start, a new beginning, with something to do with the 8th house. There could be sudden, unforeseen development with an inheritance, monetary compensation, alimony, child support, or loans. On November 26th, Venus in Capricorn, the 9th house, will square Chiron in Aries, the 12th house. There might be a setback with your recovery or healing process. There could be a setback with the release of a confinement at the hospital or a treatment center, or for those who are in jail or prison. On November 28th, that's Thanksgiving, Venus in Capricorn, the 9th house, will trine Uranus in Taurus, the 1st house. It's possible to suddenly change your appearance, physique, you may start to notice a change of your personality, or others may notice the change of your personality. You could go on a distant trip for educational purposes, publish something, broadcast something, spiritual, religious, political involvement. I'll go ahead and pull another card. Court. So it does look like you'll have a lot of activity dealing with the 9th house. Anything that pertains to a legal matter. If you have something pending, you'll receive news about it this month in November. Okay, that's all I have for November. Please check out my other videos that I have posted. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.